All right, hi you guys. I wanted to do a video on going broke for cruising. Okay, so I plan on going on in the next year and a half. So far, I'm planning on 5 cruises. No, let me see. One, two, three, four. 4 cruises in the next year and a half. Is that right? Yeah, 4 cruises. So things add up, even going with the deposit. So for me, I'm new to cruising, all right? I went on a cruise 2018. I did 2 solo cruises this year. And later on this year, I plan on going on my third solo cruise. I would like to go on 3 cruises per year, like one in the beginning, middle, and end. But y'all know my mental health is up and down, up and down. So, and then with my mental health, as I share with you, mental health versus income, it plays with my money. If I'm not at work, I'm not getting paid. It affects my bonuses. If I don't work at least 100 hours, then my bonuses gets prorated. So, yeah, it I'm not trying to go broke for cruising. I'm hoping like cruising for me is to actually really get away. I mentioned in my last video, cruising doesn't make me happy. It's a way for me to have experiences. I'm more of an experience type of person. And for me, if I'm home, if I take vacation time off, I'm really just sitting on the couch doing nothing. Yes, can I do something? Yes, but I don't do much. And that's okay. I mean, that's okay. But I use this time to get away to really focus on myself, do something for myself, get away from all responsibilities at home, cooking, cleaning the dogs, you know what I mean? It's so yeah, thinking about this topic, this is something I wanted to talk about. I'm like, this stuff adds up fast, even just the deposits. So there are 2 things I haven't done. I haven't put the deposit down just yet. Well, I did a dollar deposit. The other $100 deposit is due tomorrow. I think I'm gonna do it. I don't know if I'll get a better price later. But with some of these, I think that I can still, if the prices change, I can still call in to see if I can get like a courtesy adjustment. So I don't know. I've done that with MSC. That was easy. Hopefully, these other ones are just as easy to do that with if the prices do change. So I will keep track of them. And they're not until, like I said, like a year from now. Nope. One is later on this year. Another one will be um beginning of next year and middle of next year. Oh, I do have 3 planned for next year, but I was thinking about canceling out one of them and then one in the beginning of 2027. So for me, it's about spacing them out. But you do have to put a deposit down. So let's say, talk about MSC. The one I booked for MSC, that's for next year, middle of next year. That deposit was $199. Carnival is $100 deposit. Celebrity is $100 deposit, and then Princess is $100 deposit. So Celebrity and Princess, I haven't done anything just yet outside of doing the dollar deposit for Celebrity. But do the math. Do the math. That's $500 right there. Now, do does a person have to do it the same way I'm doing it? No. But I feel like the prices that I'm getting it at, I'd rather jump on them now and then ask for a price adjustment later. But this video is to really talk about my strategy, ways I plan on not going into debt to go on cruising, not going into debt to do something for myself. It's not YOLO, you know. I'm responsible with my finances. I've been, in debt, bankruptcy, in the past. I am a responsible person with my finances. Circumstances made me, spiral in the past, but I've been so much better for years now. For I've documented my journey. It's been years now that I've been back on track and debt free, and I plan to stay that way. So my strategies here is to save. I want to make saving fun. So I save just to save, but for me, my mentality is this: if I'm saving just to save, I don't want to use that. I feel like that's like my, I'm not going to say emergency fund. People will call it like their emergency fund. I don't want to call it that. I call it just my savings. That's for bills when stuff comes up, that I don't have money saved up for a category, like rent, that's where I can take the money from. Car repairs, that's where that savings come from. I don't want to use that savings for travel. Okay, I'm looking here. I should be looking here. And so, yeah, I want to make a separate category just for traveling. I have saved up $1,000 already, and I've used some of the money for like tipping when I went on my other two cruises. So I still have like 990, no, 960 bucks I think I still have left, or 50 bucks in that other 1,000. So I will plan on using 500 from that to cover the cost of these deposits. Okay, so I'm doing this 1K savings challenge. I won this from Tara, my wisdom to journey and wealth, Tara. um I've got this. I've done this one time. I'm actually completing it, not completing it. I'm working on this for the second time so I can use this for travel. But basically, the money that I have saved up right now for the original 1K savings challenge, I just knew that was going to be for me. That was my money to do whatever I wanted, guilt free, for me. Travel, buying something. That's what that money is for. Guilt free spending. And I'm a big advocate for that. Like, I don't want to feel guilty of spending savings to go on a trip. That savings is important for me to have a backup plan. And then you guys see me repurpose these two things and turn them into scratch offs. So this one is like the lowest one, like 400 and something dollars, but the ranges are like from $5 to $25 increments, between like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, I think goes up to the highest one. And then I've never done this one. This one does save up $1,378, but the amounts vary. Now, I wanted to do scratch off because I thought it would be a little bit more exciting for me not to know what I am getting myself into. So yeah, I showed a video on how I did that. But I think that's just gonna be fun. So I will, after I do this 1K savings challenge, I think I will work on this one. And that will help me save up. I have a trip in 2027, so that's going to give me time. And during this time, let me tell you what else I plan on doing is keeping the money in a high yield savings account. Okay. Now, for the 1K savings challenge, because I've never been the one to keep a little bit of cash on hand, but I feel like in this environment, in this economy, it's okay to have just a little bit for an emergency. Things come up, sometimes you just need cash. So I thought, it's okay for me to have a couple hundred out at home and use it for that, for like emergencies. So some of the money from my savings challenge, keeping it at home, but going into saving up more for these trips. I will have a different high yield savings account just for the money for the trips. that's not attached to my regular savings. So when as I have to pay things off, I can use that money, but at the same time, I'm accruing interest. Yes, the interest is not going to be a lot. It can be, let's say, $5. $5 is $5. The other thing I can use is my from my savings, that interest. Okay, so I have a 18-month CD. I deposited or opened it up with $26,000. By the end of the 18 months, I would have accumulated 1,700, like it's close to $1,780 worth of interest. That itself pays off 2 trips. So I'm covered there, right? And that pays off like 2 of my trips. And what? Like, I feel like already I have enough between these savings challenges, the 1K savings challenge. I feel like in the interest for my CD, I feel like I'm almost there to pay off things, and that's a good feeling. When this 18-month CD matures in October, I don't know what I want to do because I want a good interest rate. Like right now, my interest rate is at a 4.5. Currently, and you don't know by the time October comes what the rate will be. It may be at 4%. The ones I've been looking at right now have been 4%. You know, little bits add up, and I'm like, oh, what if interest rates raise again? Do I want to miss out? Or what if interest rates go down further and then I missed out on the higher rate? So I don't know what I plan on doing. uh, but these are my ways of saving up money, using my savings, how I plan on doing it, my strategies. Still looking for better prices or price adjustments if some of them allow. I know, as I mentioned, I know MSC does. I don't know if Princess does it. I don't know if the 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 deal I got for Carnival, I don't know if that one is eligible for a price adjustment. I feel like I got that one at a good price. Um, and then the other thing to make it cost efficient is, I shared with you guys, I applied for a JetBlue credit card. I have met the requirements. I got my 70,000 bonus JetBlue miles or points. And I looked into credit cards, right? First and foremost, the welcome offer, but also what the requirements were. A lot of them, I don't have large bills. Outside of my rent, my bills aren't high, except for my car insurance. I pay my car insurance 6 months at a time, lump sum, okay? And that's my highest bill. That's like 1,400 between me and my son. That's how much our policy is. And some of the welcome bonuses were spend 4,000. I'm like, what is 4,000? Within 3 months, I don't have anything like that. So those are my thoughts, right? And then I'm like, okay, I want a credit card that also, like, I live in Virginia, and the airport I leave from, I want to make sure that I have flights. So I can go to Norfolk, I can go to Baltimore, Maryland for like Carnival, but the prices for the cruises there are so much more expensive. It's cheaper to go down to Florida to get on a cruise. Leave from Miami, Port Canaveral, Fort Lauderdale, but then at the same time, what flights from my area go straight to these locations, at a cheaper price. So I found that Orlando, Port Canaveral. That's Orlando. Yeah, Orlando. There's direct flights with JetBlue, so that's good, and the prices are decent. And then I was looking up between Miami because a lot of ports of cruises leave from Miami, and I'm like, oh, go from here to Miami. But Miami prices for, and I think it's not a direct flight from my current local airport. So I'm like, and the prices are just sky high, like hundreds of dollars. And I'm like, my points aren't going to go that far. So I looked up Fort Lauderdale. I'm like, what is the next closest one towards the Miami airport? It's Fort Lauderdale. So, and there are direct flights. So I'm like, okay, I can get to Fort Lauderdale and then take a Uber or shuttle from Fort Lauderdale to the Miami port, like cruise port, and that may cost me like $50 each way. So that's $100 versus me paying almost like $600 on flights, and or 60,000. I didn't even see what it was equivalent to in like my JetBlue points, but I'm like, that will eat up a bulk of it. I shared with you guys in my community tab, I have a direct flights to and from my next location, my next cruise, 5,000 points each way. So that still leaves me with 60,000 points still left. And I'm like, that's wonderful. That's going to be my game plan going forward. Leaving from either Fort Lauderdale or Miami. At Port Canaveral, the prices are decent there too, but that gives me a direct flight to and from, and that's good. That's like 2 hours, let's say 2 hours 30 minutes from where I'm at. And I can leave on the same day and get there early enough. Now I know for some people it's like always get in a day before. I've done day before and I've done same day. I personally don't mind same day, but for some, let me tell you, for some of these higher cost locations, I may leave a day early just to cover myself. I am not trying to chance it with $1,000, cruise. No, but for the lowest ones, I'm like, okay, I mean, they're not low, they're still a couple $100s, but I'm like, I feel comfortable that I'm getting there super, super early and I'll be okay. The other thing I want to say invest in, but it's not really investing because I'm going on multiple cruises within a year, is getting travel insurance versus paying insurance through the cruise line. I'm like, let me just get a year policy in case I want to do multiple trips. And it's not just for cruises, it's just for trips in general. And I'm like, the policy I bought and I canceled it. I'm like, I'm gonna purchase it closer to my next trip so that it incorporates more of my other trips before the policy expires. It's like 100. It was like $132, which kind of equates out to roughly the same amount for 3 trips. If I were to get it through the cruise line directly, I'll say it's 60, 60, 60, right? That's 180. But some of them are like $40. Some of them are like $60. Some maybe $50 for the policy. But I'm like, by the time I average out, I'll be okay. And what if I want to go on different trips? At least I'll have a policy. I don't have to keep purchasing it every single time. So that's another thing. Um, but yeah, these are my thoughts on going broke for cruising. Like, stuff adds up super fast. But then I have a game plan of how, and being strategic in regards to how I plan on saving up. I don't have to do a whole bunch. I don't have to do a whole bunch. I still need to save up because I've missed a lot of time from work this year. You guys have seen it in my paychecks. So I haven't really been able to save up in my regular savings. I need to get that back up. Before I know it, insurance would be coming up again in December. And for what I have saved up in my savings right now, that can almost totally deplete my savings. And that's not okay. So I need to get that back up. And for right now, your girl's working on this one. And once I complete this one, I will feel a little bit more better. But it's just steady, steady. And I just don't want to put myself in a bind for trips, for travel. But I do want to take time out for myself and focus on myself. And I think is really important. I enjoyed the other two trips in regards to really getting out the house and focusing on myself and crying it out, feeling my emotions without thinking my son is looking at me. It just felt good. And that's what cruising is for me, is to get away and be away from everything. Um, so yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know. Have you guys gone, like when you go on trips, whether it's a staycation or whatever it is, how do you plan for it? Is it like spur of the moment, or do you plan? Do you save? Do you put it on credit cards? Nowadays, there are so many options to do payment plans. That's not for me. I don't know if it has interest, if there's like interest that goes along with it, but I know for some people, if you're responsible with those things, I feel like those can be really good. Um, you know, each their own. I personally wouldn't do it because I actually have the money to go, and it's a good feeling to come back and not be in debt for a trip that's already ended. Um, but people do what they want to do. That's just my preference. I'm just sharing with you my plans on how I plan on saving up, how I have enough money basically between the two 1K savings challenges and the interest for my CD. Once that matures, all of my travel is kind of planned for. And then I talked to you guys about um, the airlines, and then I still have my Hilton's credit card, American Express Hilton credit card, so I can have up to, depends on where I stay, up to, like, for the two larger um not larger hotels, the more expensive cruises I have planned. um I can go in a day early and basically be okay for free hotel stays for those 2 days. It depends on where I stay. So everything is about being strategic for me. I am a budgeter at heart. And I think so far, and let me know what I've shared with you. Does it smell, sound like a smart plan? Um, I may be booking these like on a whim. I am. I feel like I'm purchasing these on a whim, but at the same time, I feel comfortable with my decision. It's not spur of the moment because it's not like immediately. It's months, a year and a half from now. You know what I mean? So it gives me time, and yeah. So, anyways, let me know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.